It's probably a good 70-30 of people I talked to that got Martin actually in the lead, not Nick. Nothing against either one of them. That's the way I saw it.
What's up everyone, Base Bodybuilder here with Base Bodybuilding. Make sure to subscribe for more bodybuilding coverage. You heard it here, Nick Walker overcame staggering 30% chance of beating Martin Fitzwater, according to Bob Chicarello. Well, the show's over and it looks like Nick overcame those odds because he's the winner. There was actually quite a few people going into the show that had Martin beating Nick, which I really don't know why. The only thing that you could say Martin beats Nick in is the size of his waist, which, guys, this isn't a figure competition. The size of your waist, it's only one very small criteria compared to the whole other package that's put into consideration for judging. And Nick, while he does have a slightly big waist, guys, he makes up for it with the gargantuan amount of muscle mass that he carries. I'm going to put the top 4 up on the screen here. You tell me, who stands out to you? Be honest. Don't be biased either. Because that's the thing. Going into the show, you know, they're a big follower of Martin, or they just don't like Nick because of his cockiness. Guys, this is a bodybuilding show. Nick is the only one here that could even compare to Jay Cutler, 4-time Mr. Olympian. And Jay is the same way. Jay never had a small waist, yet Jay won the Olympia 4 times. Going into this show, there was a lot of bad stigma around Nick, given what he showed up looking like at the Pittsburgh. I knew, after seeing all the heat, after seeing all the criticism, and all the bad feedback, and all the negativity, I knew that Nick would come into the show and just totally be lights out. And that's what happened. You look at the scorecards, Nick beat Martin by 1 point. Okay, fair enough. But it's also worth considering the judges make up the scores after they're done judging. They're looking at these competitors, they're seeing who looks the best. They came to the consideration that, yeah, it was pretty close between him and Nick. But it still wasn't enough to beat Nick. Are you kidding me? And the way I look at it is, the only people who've beaten Nick in recent times are the 2 Mr. Olympians, Samson Dauda and Hunter Labrada. Now, I think Hunter is someone you need to look at because he has muscle that's comparable to Nick, where I just don't think Martin's there yet. Martin's an amazing talent and he is the future because of how young he is. But we're not going to see him beat Nick until he can put on Hunter Labrada's size. And if he can come down to the same condition he was in tonight, because he was in amazing condition. And I think it was about the same condition as Nick. There's people out there, including Martin, who think Martin had better condition. There's an Instagram comment I'll pull up here. He got into a little scuffle on the IG. And personally, I think Martin needs a PR person because so I wouldn't be going into Bodybuilders Without Borders comment section if I were Martin. So there's someone who commented, Nick will grab the easy win, and then he tags Martin Fitzwater. Now, he was tagged, so to be fair, it's like this stuff is just thrown in his face. And I don't blame him for being annoyed, but anyway, he goes on to say, Martin Fitz, more conditioning and work on improving some poses. You might want to consider some cardio. That's the part that probably pissed off Martin. You might want to consider some cardio. You don't think Martin did like massive amounts of cardio? Sure, Martin did plenty of cardio to look like this, and he is in great condition, so it was kind of a dumb comment. We get Martin in the replies, sticking up for himself, but he shouldn't be doing this. First he replies, laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji, clown face. The original commenter replies, all due respect, you look great, have a super future ahead, which, you know, he's just trying to make up for the fact that he got called a clown by a pro bodybuilder, who he's not. But he's a pro trainer. Well, I don't know, he might be a pro bodybuilder, but no one knows him. Martin replies, laughing emoji, keep your respect, I don't want people like you as fans. Ooh. So, they keep going at it. Martin goes on to say, you're clearly not here in person, I'm the most conditioned one up there. But please keep giving advice. Now, Martin says he's the most conditioned one up there. He's one of them, but I still think, look at this picture, look at this comparison between him, Nick, and the rest of the top 4 here. Nick actually looks the most conditioned, and everyone likes to give him a hard time on his midsection. It does look, you know, a little blown out, but look at his abs, they just stand out. And when you're at a bodybuilding show, that's what they're looking at. They're looking for your abs to pop, they're looking for your entire body to pop, and Nick, there's no question here. This is just the front double, but there's no question. Look at the size of the arms Nick has. If you ask me, I think Tonio and Stu were really battling with Martin. I think they looked amazing. let's just go into each individual person. I'm going to pull up the footage. Big shout out to Gilco Productions, who provides amazing contest footage. It's just unreal the amount of quality that goes into Gilco's footage here. It's truly 4K quality. So let's start with Nick. Guys, this is a freak. He is a freak of freaks. Those arms no one has. Those arms kill Derek Lunsford's better than Hottie's too, and I think Hottie has some of the best arms. Nick's arms are unreal, and when it comes to bodybuilding, your arms are a very important aspect. Look at Phil Heath, look at Kai Green, 1 and 2 for years, amazing arms. That makes him already competitive. Let's look at this back double shot. Okay, the arms again, the back is super wide, just commanding. It just looks bigger than everyone else's, and lots of detail. But then you look down, you look at his hamstrings and glutes. Guys, no one has hamstrings that look like that other than Derek and Hottie. I would say Nick has better hamstrings than them because they're just so dense and thick from the back. They look like a rhino. It's unreal. He caught a lot of flack going into the show with his quad size at the Pittsburgh, but look at his quads. They're so detailed, freaky, veins running down them, separation, striations. He's got everything going on with his quads. They look incredible. So, yeah, Nick was a deserved first place. There's no denying it, I have to say. It's too much thickness for anyone to compete with. And I also thought it was funny during the Fuad wrap-up of the Pittsburgh show with Ian and the other guy he did it with. There was a comment on there, it was a top comment, it said, "Nick ain't winning no Olympia." Cool. First of all, it's from some nobody who has no clue about anything bodybuilding related. And it's so easy to say, oh, you're not going to win the Olympia. Yeah, oh, you're not going to be the best bodybuilder in the entire planet. Wow, what a brilliant comment. And it got hundreds of likes from probably a bunch of haters from Nick. And I knew after seeing that comment he was going to come in and destroy this show. So we'll see what happens at the Olympia. There's a lot of things to compare between him, Hottie, and Derek, so they all stack up well. Let's look at Martin. I gotta give him credit. I like his posing style. I like how he does the wink there. That was sick. Stuff like that, it just adds to your stage charisma, and I feel like he's just kind of killing it with the confidence here. Martin looked fantastic, guys. I have no bad things to say about Martin other than to compete with a guy like Nick, you just need a little more size. And he'll get there. Another young guy, he will get there. So hats off to Martin. Another one, like, look at his legs from behind. And this is probably where he beats Tonio and Stu. His legs are very thick, shredded glutes. I can see why he feels he was the most shredded in the show. I mean, yeah, he was one of the most shredded, but, I mean, Nick was equally comparable, in my opinion. Doing a little quad shake. He just looks great. So, I want to congratulate Martin. I have nothing, I know we're going into his comments and his PR, but he's a good guy. I saw this guy as well at Bev's gym, and when he walked in, it wasn't like a human walking by me. It was like a vehicle. I was like, I gotta get out of the way. I gotta clear like 4 feet of space at least for this guy to get through. So, yeah, total freak. Now let's look at Tonio. Tonio is a freak of freaks as well. This is a lot of guys comparing him to Dexter Jackson. I feel like that's totally justified. I actually think he looks better than Dexter in some ways. Just a very, very sharp physique. Quad separation's dominant. His quads look like Sean Roden's. Just the lines in them, you could just draw, swipe a credit card through them. Totally amazing lines. I think he needed some more chest fullness. He needs a little more size in his chest. But this guy, yep, you look at him from behind, dude, one of the best backs in the game. Having a back like this totally stands out because that's where most people struggle. Christmas tree. And, his glutes could improve. His glutes probably be a little more conditioned. It's easier said than done. I don't know if that's in his genetics to get them more conditioned, but he's just got to keep showing up, keep improving year after year. He's going to be in the top 5 of the Olympia, eventually. And then we'll go to Stu. We'll just keep it with the top 4 here. We'll go to Stu. Incredible package. Flaring quads. His quads are nutty because look at where they start. The sweep starts at his hip. It's just a totally freaky look. His chest is very thick. Love a guy with like a big chest, because that's another thing sometimes people struggle with. A lot of people give criticism to Nick not having the thickest chest. You cannot say that about Stu. Massive dude. Another one, when I saw him, like just a wall of a person. Like so much mass. So much mass. Stu, he could improve his back a little bit more. It looks great. Just add a little more size over time. And he's going to be right up there. Amazing lat spread. I love his lat spread. It's a very thick looking back when he spreads it out. His rhomboids just pop at you. And they got veins in them. And I thought Stu, you know, he's another one. He's got a very small waist and he looks good in that ab and thigh shot. So just big shout out to Stu. Yeah, I saw him at Bev's. He was there for the Serious Bodybuilding meetup. If you guys are looking for good information and a good bodybuilding community on Discord, check out Serious Bodybuilding Discord. A very humble guy. I talked to Stu a couple days, you know, before I saw him at Bev's gym, and it was funny because I was telling him, "You're the future. You have a small waist. Keep growing." And you know what? Stu didn't even say that. Sorry, I laugh because Stu's a funny guy, but Stu didn't even say thank you. He's like, "Stop glazing." At first, I didn't understand what he meant. I thought he told me to stop blazing, like I was smoking something. But he was saying stop glazing. He doesn't like being glazed. He doesn't want delusions of grandeur going into the show. He's a very humble guy. He knows where he stands. And honestly, Stu brought an amazing look. So all credit to Stu for showing up here and getting in the top 4, because this was a very competitive show. Now, lastly, we'll end on this. Martin, before the show, he has a picture, you know, with his girl. I guess she's the one who posted this. She said, "We do what we say we're going to do. Prejudging done, see y'all tonight." Then Nick posted after the show, "When I say I'm going to do something, I do it." So I don't know if that was taking a jab at Martin, but in any case, there's definitely a rivalry going on here. How I translate it, when Martin says he's going to do something, he does the New York Pro to compete. When Nick says he's going to do something, he does the New York Pro to win. So big season ahead of us, guys, and you don't want to miss more bodybuilding coverage, so make sure to subscribe, Base Bodybuilder, and I'll see you in the next video.